Democrats in Congress facing the fallout from Obamacare. More than 5 million people across the country are getting cancellation notices, and that number may grow. Throw in the problems with the website itself, skyrocketing premiums, lost jobs. Some Democrats up for re-election are getting really nervous. Even as the president works to prop up the Affordable Care Act, the GOP smells blood.
Obviously, because of the problems with the website, some folks have been blocked from seeing the well-priced benefits that are available in the marketplace. And so we're working 24/7 to get it fixed.
Democrat senators must help Republicans pass legislation to limit the damage of Obamacare. If not, those who choose to ignore the plight of millions of Americans should be replaced next November by those who will act.
Let's bring in Tammy Bruce, radio talk show host and a Fox News contributor. Joining us also Julian Epstein, an attorney and Democratic strategist. Good to see you both.
Hi there.
Tammy,
good afternoon.
Tammy, how is the president's fix any fix at all? Because he's simply delaying by 1 year the millions of angry people who are getting their health care plans canceled, then paying more for replacement plans. I mean, is the president essentially panicking because Democrats are in open revolt?
Well, look, there's a lot of things coming at Barack Obama, and his fix is more of a fixation. This is what's fascinating, and it's kind of coming to people only over the last few days about why did he let the website unfurl even though they knew it was not going to work, and that's become rather apparent now. And the issue is that without that, the insurance companies would not have canceled individual policies. And if your goal is, and they keep talking about the just 5%, well, in this country, that's about 15 million people. We think that the goal was to destroy the individual marketplace for that, quote, just 5%. Yeah. And if you, in fact, did not let the website roll out, those policies would not have been canceled. What Obama's doing is trying to get some more time. And he believes, and I think he underestimated the American people, and he overestimated the media's assistance in this regard. And I think it is a general panic.
And maybe he didn't understand the promise he was making and the backlash it would bring. Julian, Democrats joined, as you saw yesterday, Republicans in passing the Upton bill. The Senate Landrieu bill, which would essentially order insurers to offer existing plans in perpetuity, has a huge amount of support. Both bills, here's the deal, Julian, both bills undermine the central goal of Obamacare, of forcing healthy people onto the exchange plans that subsidize the sick. So is this what the president's false promise has wrought?
Well, I think Democrats are definitely on the defense right now. I just point out quickly to Tammy that the website problems and the cancellation are two totally unrelated issues. But that said, I think Democrats are on the defense now, one, because the website has been such a disaster. Nobody argues that. Two, because of the president's promise, which he should have corrected the record a long time ago. And three, I think because the White House has not done an effective enough job on the communications. The fact of the matter is, Greg, and you can't get around this, for 97% of Americans, there is no change in their current situation, or they're going to get a much better deal. For 3% of Americans, only 5% of Americans buy their insurance through the individual marketplace. Half of those are going to get a better deal right now because of the way the law is structured. The 2 or 3% that are going to see increases, effectively what's happening with them is that their policies need to be updated to be compliant with the new law, because their policies are effectively junk policies.
But,
and so the president, I don't think the White House has done a good enough job making that case.
When employers, according to the CPO, 20 million employers are going to start dropping their employees. Tammy, let me go to you on this one.
We've seen very little evidence of that, Greg.
Well, that's because you had a one-year delay of the business mandate. Wait till that expires, Julian.
But 95% of employers already provide insurance, Greg.
And they're going to start dropping them because they, too, have to comply with the enhanced benefits. Look, Tammy, instead of admitting that he misled millions of Americans, the president went out there and he blamed the insurance companies. Yeah. Then he had the temerity to ask them to bail him out. And word is, most of them said, forget about it. Yeah. Too late, can't do it. And if they do it, a delay only pushes the premiums higher. So when you think about it, there's no way out.
Well, yeah, that was a Hail Mary pass, and it shows you a general lack of leadership. He did not consult with them. This was just an effort to get maybe some of the Democrats in Congress a little bit of an edge. But when it comes to what the arguments are and what the lines are and the memes, if you will, the talking points, the biggest problem Obama has now is that people don't believe him, that there have been lies, and that there's also a question now about his ability to lead and his own credibility. So no matter what Democrats say about what's transpired, nobody's listening now because nothing that's been said so far has been true.
It's propitious you bring it up because I want to show Julian a couple of polls. These are new Julian Fox News polls. They show most people think, let's put it on the screen, most people think the president lied, deliberately lied when he said you can keep your plan. And the next poll, almost 60% think his administration knew all along that people would get kicked off their plans. Now, of course, since then, we have discovered documented proof the president did know all along. How damaged is his credibility, and will Americans now be reluctant, Julian, to believe anything he has to say?
Well, I would say the credibility is damaged. I think there's no question about that. I think the president should have corrected the record a long time ago. I would say his numbers are still far, far, far better than are the Republicans or any Republican leader. So he's clearly doing better there. I think the president's numbers have been down before. The president has had approval ratings down into the upper 30s in 2011, 2012, and he bounced back quickly.
Sure.
I think generally these things are kind of episodic. They stick in people's minds during the weeks where you have a lot of controversy, but I think in general the public does trust, whether you like him or not on his policies. I think the public does regard Obama as fundamentally.
The only problem is Obamacare may not be episodic.
Yeah, that's right.
This may be a long national nightmare. We'll wait and see. Tammy Bruce, Julian Epstein, good to see you both. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Greg.
All right.